Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Julie Nelson. We have new details tonight about a disturbing story in White Bear Lake, where a 22-year-old man enrolled at the high school and pretended to be a 17-year-old student. Now a state representative is calling on the district superintendent to resign immediately over what he calls a catastrophic lapse in enrollment verification protocols. Raya Katene joins us with the latest on this story. Raya?
Julie, White Bear Lake police say no charges have been filed at this time, but they do say the 22-year-old is in custody on charges unrelated to this case. Students I talked to say that they knew him as 17-year-old KJ, a student who was on the football team and even attended the homecoming dance as recently as this past weekend. A Twin Cities high school serving nearly 3,000 students.
We need some answers.
Is facing tough questions after one student turned out to be an adult posing as a teenager at White Bear Lake High School, where Brittany's son is a 10th grader.
I was angry. It makes you question, do you keep your children there? Is it safe?
White Bear Lake police say they're investigating the 22-year-old and pursuing possible criminal violations related to fraud, forgery, and unlawful conduct involving interactions with minors. The school district says the person used fraudulent documents and a fake identity to enroll.
The fact that this fell through the cracks is indicative of system-wide failure.
The school district and police have not disclosed the person's name, but students identified him as KJ. State Representative Elliot Engen, who represents some White Bear Lake communities and whose brother attends the high school, provided a roster of this year's football team, listing KJ Perry as a 12th grader who played as a cornerback.
This comes down to failed leadership on the part of Wayne Kazmarchak, and there should be ramifications for that.
Engen is calling on the superintendent to resign immediately, but Representative Breon Curran, whose district also includes White Bear Lake, says it's too early to point fingers.
The person who fraudulently enrolled as an adult in a school for children is responsible for this. Now, how they went about it, that's something for myself and other leaders in the community to tackle.
Lawmakers say enrollment protocols and safety measures will surely be discussed at the Capitol. In the meantime, parents like Brittany question how this was allowed to happen.
I think it would be nice to hear from the superintendent. The parents and the children need some form of explanation.
We have reached out to the school district multiple times, both yesterday and today. I also asked for an interview with the superintendent, but a spokesperson tells me there's no additional information that they can share at this point. Julie?
Yeah, they're being very tight-lipped. The White Bear police are being very tight-lipped about this. But it really struck me that you were saying he went to the homecoming dance this year.
Not only that, and
I can't imagine if you're the parents of that girl that was his date.
Yeah, I mean, students were telling me she's only 15 years old, and to think that she had thought that she was going on a date with a 17-year-old who turned out to be 22, as we now know. It's unimaginable.
It is. Thank you, Raya.